feel that as a president, you have to have immunity. Very simple. So I think most people understand it, and we feel very confident that eventually, hopefully at this level, but eventually we win. A president has to have immunity. And the other thing is I did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong.
In the criminal justice system, murder is totally okay. Time to go stabbing. Stab, stab.
Welcome. We'll do it again. Here we go.
Thank you very much. Barr was a coward. He didn't have the courage to do what he should have done. When they said they were going to impeach him, he became a marshmallow. A big marshmallow.
He says he's immune. Presidents can't obstruct justice. His intent wasn't corrupt. The case is moving too fast or moving too slow. It's an unfair venue. The judge is biased, and so are the clerks. The juries, too. He's never met her. He doesn't know her. She's not his type. It was his personal account. Political persecution, witch hunt, perfect phone call, the deep state. It wasn't an insurrection. He wasn't notified that it was a crime. His lawyers advised him. Double jeopardy. The speech was peaceful. The students weren't defrauded. The Presidential Records Act. He was too busy. They were his documents. They're declassified. They aren't even classified at all. The First Amendment and the Fourth, the Fifth, the Sixth, and 10th Amendments too.
With Donald Trump's lawyers trying to argue this week for absolute presidential immunity for Donald Trump, it's time to play everyone's favorite family game show.
We win. A president has to have immunity.
In fact, Joe Biden could be prosecuted for trying to stop this man from becoming the next president of the United States.
And the other thing is I did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong.
And America's fastest growing subscriber page.
2016, they had no terrorists that they know of that came into the country. None. You know, I had the travel ban.
It's time to play Hypocrite of the Week. This week's contestant, Donald Trump's douchebag lawyer who spends most of his time working on the Joe Biden impeachment.
SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival.
Hold on, Your Honor. Could you please slow down? Quick question. How many asses in assassination? This is all great. Keep them coming. No bad ideas in a brainstorm. Here we go.
That's an official act in order to SEAL Team 6.
He would have to be and would speedily be, impeached and convicted.
Come on, Trump-tard douchebag. You're going to have to do better than that.
Before the criminal prosecution.
What if you weren't?
Absolutely refusing to answer the question. Well, you're on the board. That's 10 points.
There would be no criminal prosecution, no criminal liability for that.
Chief Justice's opinion in Marbury against Madison and...
Here we go with the Madison argument, which has absolutely no pertaining whatsoever to this case. That's another 10 points. You're up to 20.
And our Constitution tradition and the plain language of the impeachment judgment clause all clearly presuppose that what the founders were concerned about was not...
I asked you a yes or no question.
Acting stupid and pretending not to understand the question. Well, that's another 10 points. You're up to 30. You're doing great. But now it's time for round 2. The points double and the hypocrisy knows no bounds.
Could a president who ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival who was not impeached, would he be subject to criminal prosecution?
Poignant, straight, dynamic, and a question that fires straight to the heart of the matter. Does President Trump get to do whatever the fuck he wants?
If he were impeached and convicted first. And
so your answer is no.
I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is
Joe Biden
when I lay my
immunity
upon thee.
My answer is qualified yes.
Once again, refusing to answer the question. That's 20 points. You're up to 50.
There's a political process that would have to occur under the structure of our Constitution, which would require impeachment and conviction by the Senate. In these exceptional cases, as the OLC memo itself points out from the Department of Justice, you'd expect a speedy impeachment and conviction. But what the founders were much more worried about than using criminal prosecution to discipline presidents was what James Madison calls in Federalist number 47.
Oh, there's Madison again. Well, that's just ridiculous. No points there, but you're on the right track.
The president ought to be able to murder his political opponents and then cannot be prosecuted unless he gets impeached. Our commander-in-chief has godlike powers over life and death. as long as his party controls the Senate. And I just want to say, please vote.
And the newfangled and artificial treasons. They were much more concerned about the abuse of the criminal process for political purposes to disable the presidency from factions and political opponents. And of course, that's exactly what we see in this case.
Acting like you're too stupid to understand the question. That's pretty good. That's another 20 points. You're up to 70. Straight up saying that a president can do whatever he wants. Hell, straight up saying that a president can order SEAL Team 6 to shoot his opponent and then not get prosecuted. Wow. That's absolutely insane. That's not really hypocrisy, but I tell you what, he's going to get an extra 50 hypocrisy points just because, like I said before, let's bear in mind this motherfucker is heavily involved. In fact, he's the top liar on the Biden impeachment. Apparently, Donald Trump can have immunity for whatever he wants. Joe Biden gets absolutely none at all. Well, I tell you what, man, that brings you to 120. You are definitely going to beat this week's champ. Wait, what? Oh, we have a late entry. We have a late entry. This has never happened before. This is totally unprecedented. I'm sorry. 1 second. Okay, Donald Trump himself has come in. He does not want to be upstaged by his liar because he's a narcissistic douchebag. I tell you what, man, you got to give him credit for that.
Well, I want to thank you all, and we had I thought, very momentous day in terms of what was learned and what they've conceded. They conceded 2 major points that were they were right in doing it. I don't think they had much of a choice, but they're very, very big, very powerful points.
2 points that they conceded. Boy, that's some hypocritical bullshit right there. You're way on your way there, Donald. That's 50 points.
And we think we had a very good day today. The concession of these 2 major points was pretty amazing, and honestly, I'm very glad they did it. I think they did the right thing. Thank you very much.
Absolutely made up horse crap. No one knows what the fuck he's talking about. I don't think he knows what he's talking about. He just likes to say things that seem good on Fox and Newsmax. Pretty damn hypocritical. That's another 50 points, but that's not gonna get you to beat our champion this week. Okay, sorry. Don't be such a bitch. Okay. Donald Trump gets one more shot because he's a bitch.
At least I'm entitled to is presidential immunity, just like any other president would get. I'd be the only one that they would even consider not giving me immunity, because for whatever reason, people are angry that I've done such a good job.
Get your facts straight, or Trump will murder you.
How could I have been so stupid? A president should have absolute immunity to do whatever they want. I guess, why pardon Richard Nixon? Because he quit. I guess that was just not necessary.
It is hypothetical after hypothetical of extreme situations that are not the current situation.
The president sending an assassin to kill his political rivals and then claiming presidential immunity is such an extreme hypothetical. Let's stick to reality, where all Trump did was send a mob to kill his vice president and then claim immunity.
And Joe Biden himself should be able to do whatever the fuck he wants.
They don't look at violent crime. They don't look at murders. If you murder somebody, they leave you alone.
In fact, if Joe wants to go send SEAL Team 6 right now to go blow up Mar-a-Lago, that's fine.
Justice weaponization is a very dirty game to play, and it's never been used like this before, never in our country. We're not going to allow it to happen, and he shouldn't allow it to happen, because if it does, it's a Pandora's box, and it opens that box.
That's some astonishing hypocritical bullshit coming from the party that started 2 illegal wars and impeached a man for a blowjob. Outstanding, hypocritical, unbridled hypocrisy.
I think we need to return to constitutional government. I think they shredded the Constitution.
This is like the whims of a dictatorship, where the elite leaders decide what parts of laws they like, what parts of laws they don't like, what they themselves will be subjected to.
Is it time the president just torch the Constitution?
I will give President Obama and the Senate Democrats credit. They believe in principles of big government. They believe in this relentless assault on our constitutional rights.
I feel very strongly about our Constitution. I'm proud of it. I love it. And I want to go through the Constitution. And that's what we want to do. I mean, we want to bring the Constitution back.
No one can match the hypocrisy of Donald Trump, and that's the lesson here. Donald Trump, you are our hypocrite of the week.
I have the absolute right to declare a national emergency. I have an absolute right to call national security. I do have an absolute right to pardon myself. I have the ultimate authority. When somebody's the president of the United States, the authority is total. And that's the way it's got to be. The authority is total. It's total. It's total. Article 2 allows me to do whatever I want. Then I have an Article 2 where I have the right to do whatever I want.
Our returning champion. Next week, we'll see if Donald Trump can hold on to it. For 2024, this is going to be one hell of a year of hypocrisy.
Well, I got an Article 2 that says I don't care.
During your rallies, you spend a lot of time talking about retribution. And so there are questions about how much a second term of a Donald Trump presidency, second term, would be about retribution and looking backwards and grievances, and how much would be looking forward.
Well, first of all, a lot of people would say that that's not so bad. Look what they did. Russia hoax, the FBI Twitter hoax, the 51 intelligence agents hoax, all of these different hoaxes that they did. I mean, you know, a lot of people would say that's probably quite normal. I'm not going to have time for retribution. We're going to make this country so successful again. I'm not going to have time for retribution.
Sorry, are we supposed to find that reassuring? You won't seek retribution not because it's a terrible thing to do, but because you'll be too busy? That's like if you ask Hannibal Lecter if he plans on eating any more people, and he said, oh, absolutely not. I had a big lunch.
I wonder what hypocritical fucking thing he'll say next. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal, and this has been Hypocrite of the Week.
When that answer comes just hours after Trump sent out a fundraising email to his supporters that said in all caps, and this is real, I am your retribution. When it clearly should have said, I am your retribution, time permitting.
Join us next time for America's favorite family game show, Hypocrite of the Week.
There is this report, House Democrats, documents that say that nearly $8 million in payments to your businesses from foreign governments, China included, Saudi Arabia, while you were in office. They say Article 1 of the Constitution says you can't accept money from foreign governments while president. Would you pledge to divest from your business in a second term as other presidents have done? So that's what they're reporting.
I own hotels all over I don't get free money. You know, George Washington was a very rich man. People don't know that. In his essentially White House, which wasn't built, but they had an office, he had a business desk and he had a country desk right next to each other. You're allowed to do that.
Washington's estate at Mount Vernon has said they have no idea what Trump's talking about. And then, of course, he mixed it up once and did business at the country desk, which is how we got the Louisiana Purchase. Not a lot of people know that because it's not true. I just made it up.